We'll bring in Executive Director of the International Spy Museum, Chris Costa, joining us from Washington now. Also, he's former Special Assistant to the President and Senior Director for Counterterrorism at the National Security Council. So, Chris, let's just talk about the role that the UN can and should play right now when it comes to ending the war in Ukraine. You know, there's always a lot of criticism that these summits happen and the leaders come and speak and address everybody within the General Assembly, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, Kira, thanks. It's great to see you. So first and foremost, I think it's a platform. It was a platform yesterday for President Zelenskyy to talk about and engender international cooperation. He had a platform to talk about genocide again. He had a platform to again talk about justice, long-term war criminal tribunals, those kinds of things. So first and foremost, it's a tribunal, and a lot happens on the sidelines that the average person is not aware of. So I am hopeful that there will be some momentum, but clearly this is about generating international support, and Zelenskyy did that yesterday. And of course, today, he underscored the importance of the Security Council on the UN and some of the flaws with that council, in particular, the fact that Russia has a veto power, and that seems to be a little anachronistic, right? So I think there could be some positive developments down the line. But also President Duda from Poland had an opportunity to talk about the kinds of threats that his country and the Baltics face. So I think it's an important platform.
You recently visited Poland. Let's talk about some of the biggest concerns, out of there and neighboring countries.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to talk about that. So first and foremost, again, Poland is a great example of a tremendous power in terms of its ability to work with NATO. It's a strong ally for the West. And at the same time, it has very capable security services. And I had the opportunity to engage with those security services. And just since this summer, there have been multiple individuals that have been arrested linked to Russia's intelligence services. They're on the ground in Poland to subvert the nation. So, I mean, this sounds very World War II-esque, but it is happening on the ground in Poland. So I think President Duda's remarks were spot on. Russia poses a significant threat to the region. As I alluded to or referenced the Baltic countries, Poland, and in the past I've talked about Moldova.
So you mentioned things happen on the sidelines after these speeches at the UN. Can you dive into that a little bit and tell us, what we don't see? I mean, we watch our leaders, from our president, and we saw Zelenskyy and others step to the podium, but it's a speech. But what happens on the sidelines that we don't know about necessarily? What have you seen within your experience?
So I've gone as a special assistant to the president. I've been to UNGA, the UN General Assembly, and I had the opportunity to arm more senior diplomats to engage with their counterparts from other countries, to ensure they understood the position of the United States government. To be clear, I am not a diplomat, but my role was to arm diplomats with exactly the right messaging, so those countries could go back and consider some of the proposals that were made informally on a sideline. It might be just a future conference, but to your point, a lot of talking eventually will move towards some level of action. And the UN is the best that we have. It's imperfect, to be sure, but it is very much needed. And that's the point President Duda from Poland made yesterday.
Chris Costa, great to see you. Always love your perspective.
Great to see you, Kira. Bye now.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.